This is part of an act called Church of the Subgenius. We'll tell you all about that when we come back.
You might have heard of Bob Dobbs in Rolling Stone, People, The Washington Post, or on MTV. He is the inspiration behind a couple of alternative guys who call themselves the Church of the Subgenius.
This church started in Dallas, Texas, which is often called the buckle on the Bible Belt. All we're trying to do is unbuckle the Bible belts. We offer something that no other religion offers: eternal salvation or triple your money back. He does not really care about your sins. He comes rather to justify your sins, to rationalize your sins, my friend. He brings not forgiveness, but an excuse.
Praise Bob, better than Swaggart.
Well, as you guys already know, I'm still in school and I'm only 14.
Hi, little boy. Would you like some candy? I have a bunch in my van. God damn it, how come they always make these so hard to open?
And I'm faced with a dilemma when people come up to me and I'm just starting to get to know them. And they're like, hey, do you believe in God? And I always have to lie to them and say yes, because if I say no, then I will probably be isolated from everyone else.
You want advice on how to not be a little wuss about your atheism. Yeah, because right now you're all like, I don't know if I should tell people I'm an atheist because they might not like me. Please. Well, let me tell you something, kid. No one ever liked me. No one. From the day I was born until the day I die, I am and have been and will be a despicable, unlikable bastard. No one ever thought I was cool. No one ever like, oh, TJ, you're so awesome, dude. I never got all the girls. I never got anything. I was a loser. I was always a loser. You know, when I was your age, you're 14, right? When I was 14 years old, I only had one friend. And me and my friend were hated by the whole school. Everyone disliked us. The girls mocked and ridiculed us. The other guys laughed at us. But you know what? We used to f*** with them all the time. If they hated gay people, we'd act gay. I remember one time, this guy made fun of Jesse's Star Wars shirt. And for the rest of the day, we kept going up to that guy, talking to him about Star Wars. And it messed with his mind. We used to mess with their minds. We used to f*** with people all day long. We didn't dislike being hated. We didn't dislike being losers. We loved it. Because who wants to fit in with a culture this insipid, this vulgar, this vile and stupid? Not me and not Jesse, and why should you? You're an atheist, right? So as an atheist, you must care about the truth. But on the other hand, you don't care about the truth if you're keeping it to yourself. All you're willing to do for the truth is keep it right in here and keep this shut and just walk around like an obedient little drone. I'm a good little boy. Give me a treat, Daddy. If that's all you're willing to do for the truth, then you might as well not even care about the truth. You might as well just believe whatever fanciful notion enters your head. Because you know what, Landon? A skeptic without balls is nothing. It doesn't matter how skeptical you are of all the claims presented to you in this world. It doesn't matter how much you disagree with everyone around you. It doesn't matter how much you value rational inquiry and empirical evidence in your mind if it never comes out your mouth. What do you think is going to happen if you speak the truth? You think Mommy and Daddy aren't going to like you anymore? Well, guess what? You're probably right to an extent. I told my mom I was an atheist, she starts crying, and told my dad I was an atheist, he's like, well, I'm very disappointed in that. Your parents are stupid. No one gave them a manual. They don't know how to handle that kind of thing. If you can't tell the truth now, you're never going to be able to tell the truth. Because what are you waiting for? You think there's some time in life when the truth is going to be easier to tell people? You think there's some point in life when you get older where things are going to change? And you're going to be able to finally tell the truth, finally blurt it out, finally proclaim it from the highest mountain? The time is now, Landon. The time is now. It's not 20 years from now. It's not 10 years from now. It's not even 5 years from now. It's now. And am I telling you there's not going to be consequences? Am I telling you it's not going to make your life a living hell? No, I'm telling you to endure. Because if you don't endure now, you're sure as hell not going to endure later. It all comes down to what kind of a man you want to be. Do you want to be the kind of man that stands for the truth, or do you want to be the kind of man that keeps his mouth shut? The kind of man who is an enabler, the kind of man who enables bad things to happen because he isn't strong enough to stand up against them. You know, man up and kick some ass for a little while. You know, you got 10 good ass-kicking years in you before they start to really wear you down. So get going with that stuff. I mean, go to your school tomorrow with a big-ass shirt that says atheist and just have a megaphone and be like, I am an atheist and I don't believe in your God and you're all stupid.
You know, here's a fun experiment that you
That's
can
what you got to do, my
friend. If you feel like doing some crazy experimental stuff, you want to
do
a fun little activity, maybe you could do this with your family. What you do is you take 30 or 40 emotionally disturbed kids, you know, like the kind of kids where their daddy comes home and beats the shit out of them. And, you know, later on that night he sneaks into their bedroom and tells them how much he loves them and strokes their hair, and then he fucks them up the ass until the morning comes. You know, get some fucking kids like that, some really fucked up little kids. And then what you do is you take them all and you send them off to a warehouse that's filled with demented pedophile circus clowns with sadistic mean streaks who will torture and molest these kids on a daily basis, okay? They get raped and tortured by these sadistic circus clowns on a daily basis, okay? So you fuck them up even worse. You started off with fucked up kids, now you've really fucked them up. And then, as the fucked up cherry on the fucked up sundae, you take these kids at night and you put them in little isolation booths, barely big enough for them to wriggle a fucking inch in. And you play 2 radio shows in a loop in both their ears. One is the Alex Jones show, and it's always blaring in this ear. And the other is the Glenn Beck show, and it's always blaring in this ear. And that is how they have to spend every single night. So these little kids spend their days getting raped by circus clowns, and then they spend their nights getting ear-raped by media clowns. So these kids are going to be fucked up beyond all recognition. But that's not the experiment part. That's just to get the conditions right. After these kids, you know, after 2 or 3 years of this sort of torture, you take whatever kids are left, whatever kids haven't found a way to commit suicide before then, and you set them all in a classroom, and you give each one a little white ping pong ball and a fine-tipped felt marker. And you tell every kid, write a single sentence on the ping pong ball. Now bear in mind, this is the first time these kids have had a chance to express themselves after years and years of terrible, terrible abuse. And these clowns that are fucking these kids are not fucking around. These clowns have big old painted dicks, okay? And when they fuck these kids, their assholes look like wind tunnels with a Niagara Falls of clown cum just dripping out non-stop. Like you think it's going to stop, but it just keeps pouring out and pouring out and pouring out, and you can't believe your fucking eyes. So that's how fucked up these kids are. And this is their first chance to express themselves on the little ping pong ball. They start writing down their little sentences. They're so happy to finally be able to express the fucked up thoughts in their fucked up little heads. Okay? And then you go around, you collect all the ping pong balls, and you put them all in a big bingo lottery machine, one of those things that just bounces the balls around inside and selects them at random. And you start letting the balls go down the little chute, and then you collect them one by one, and each ball you pick, you just write down what it says on a piece of paper. And when you're all done, folks, when every single ball has been collected and you've written down every single sentence in the order dictated by the little bingo machine, guess what you will have? You will have something that approaches how fucked up and how stupid a Cassie Dill video is. That's how stupid and crazy this bitch is. Check this shit out.
You know about the bankers controlling the Federal Reserve. You know about the FEMA camps. You know about the Illuminati. You know that 9/11 was an inside job.
This is some good shit. If I was a connoisseur of crazy, I would be like, oh, magnifique, because that is some good shit. Lots of